This is kind of last minute, and I hadn't done this before, but I'm going to make Lighthouse tonight because we've seen a number of them, and I've been wanting to make one, and I've never made one before. So let me switch over to this camera here. So this is the first one I did, natural edge, and I got some pretty even line. Um, I unhappy. I was unhappy with how drilling on the lake. They'll start with a square piece of stock and very precisely measure where they're drilling the holes with Forstner bits and so on. Well, I drilled on the lathe and it came out uneven, and I was unhappy with the results. So I decided to do them a little more like how Al's doing them, which is this piece here. So one of the things that I've learned with this piece is make sure you leave enough room so that you don't go through your holes. So, and I'll show you how all this is done. So one of the things that I want to show tonight is but I am using a home view of that. Looks like this. It's just a piece of plexiglass with a piece of paper printed out from the internet on it with holes drilled in it precisely where I needed them to be, and it fits the same way that a normal indexing wheel would fit. And I've made this little deal here with a spring-loaded pin on it to go in the holes. And we have a whole video on how this is made and how this is used on our YouTube channel and on our website. So questions on that?
Nothing in the chat.
Okay, yeah. So, all right, I'm just going to chuck up this log here. Let's go back over here. Let's do it here. And I'm sorry, Dave, I'm apologizing ahead of time because I didn't have time to generate one of my nice snazzy little documents. So this is all just on the fly. All right. So how I'm going to make this, okay, is I'm going to make it in two parts. And I'm going to make a lid on this side, and I'm going to put a tenon on both sides, and I'm going to try to get the natural edge in it like this one is. Okay? Questions on this so far? You guys can jump in at any time. I'm used to people talking while I'm turning. So
Okay.
by all means, ask at any point. So all right.
Folks, just be respectful when you want to jump in and ask a question and not talk over somebody that's already asking something.
All right. So I'm going to put a tenon on both ends, and then I'm going to go in the middle and make an area where I'm going to break it. Now, one of the things that I want to be able to do is I want to be able to hold these pieces by a tenon that I make here in the middle. So I'm going to be carefully sizing that tenon in the middle so that I can hold them and finish the ends too. So
Matt, what kind of wood are we starting with? Piece of poplar, Dom. Piece of poplar. Your mic is coming in real low bandwidth, Matt.
I'm going to do it on the tenons that come in with a spear, and make sure that this is flat and the corner is clear of any sort of debris of any kind, and just using it like a spacer and cleaning up the corners and so. Okay.
Matt, your microphone is coming in real low and mumbled.
I'm sorry, I know the batteries are good because I tested them. I'm having internet issues, so I don't know if that's relevant or not. You got scans moving in. Is that any better then?
Matt, your microphone, when you're talking, it's coming. You sound like Charlie Brown's teacher
I hate
that's
it when that
underwater.
happens. Is this
Yes,
any better, Dane?
that's way better.
All I did was move it like a quarter inch closer to my mouth.
Huh, okay, technology.
Almost biting it. So I don't know if that's relevant or not. I'm having internet connection issues tonight. So
What speed are you turning at, Matt?
oh, it's going too slow. And now I'm playing at about 1,500 RPM.
Okay, about 1,500 RPMs.
I always advocate that people playing at whatever speed they're comfortable with. If it's scaring you, you're not having fun, turn the speed down.
Matt, what was the length of the
Okay,
log that you started with? About 10 inches?
I'm going to pull this off the lathe and just bandsaw it through the middle here, just so I can,
Okay.
it's quicker that way.
Hey, Matt, what's the length of the log?
I don't know, it's about 12 inches or so.
Yep, there we go.
You can make these any size. So now this one here is this. So this is the bottom half. So this one here is, oops, this one here is much shorter. So they work. You just have to size them so that they're appropriate. So, all right. So now what I've got to do is I've got to make the cavity for the little light, and that's about 1.5 inches in diameter, less than it. So yeah, I'm going to clean the front of this up here. We'll portion or bit it out down a little bit so y'all can see what I'm doing. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to make some facing cuts across here just to make it smooth.
Hmm.
Let the tool do the work, guys. Well, that's in there, right? Okay. Well, the wood is sopping wet, so that's probably a factor here. Portion or bit. So I'm going to use two different Forstner bits here. I'm going to use a like a 3/4 inch one, and then I'm going to use or an inch, and then I'm going to use the 1.5 inch one. So it'll be done in two stages. And the reason why that I'm doing it that way is because it's too big a bite for the first one, for the biggest one to start off with the biggest one. And I generally don't Forstner bit anything over 400 RPM.
Very good.
it burns them up, and then I have to go look at Eddie's video about how to sharpen your Forstner bit. I should probably turn the lathe off when I'm not doing anything with it. Camera. Let's go down here. So we'll do a test fit. So this is pretty basic stuff, so I'm assuming there's no questions.
Nah, no questions. You're covering the material properly. Your mic is still giving us fits, so
I think it's I know that my batteries are good because I tested them. I know that the signal's good. I'm having issues with like Dane. I'm sorry.
no, that's all good. It's a demoitis.
For
We
support.
can't help it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to make sure, first of all, that this is round because I don't think it's round anymore. So this little tenon here is round. So because I'm going to use it as a guide. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit, and then we'll start working on the rest of it. Parting tool. We're using it as a guide for when we drill the post for the I'm going to have this post. They're 1/8-inch dowels, and they're going to be sitting in here like this. Okay. And I'm going to use this as the guide for where to do the drill. So I'm going to take some of the, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Sounds good.
So this is the shearing cut. I start the cut, and then I get one of these is why I got very wet wood, because it gets fun. And here's what that looks like from top. You shear at a steep angle, and just shear cut it like a shear into the work, which is loads of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only reason I really did that was to cut down on the vibration. Okay, so before I go, I use the I use the indexing wheel. Put this up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, it's got a spring-loaded pin on the end here, and it goes into all these drilled holes here on the indexing. The tailstock away, cross center, start indexing. So I don't know, we'll start in hole number one, and I want to, there's 16 holes, big holes labeled on this all the way around. So I'm going to go every four. So, and I'm use the as a line for where to draw. I'm in hole number one. The next hole is number five. And the next hole is number nine. Or evenly spaced. And the next one is number 13. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use spring-loaded punch here. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to line it up with these holes here to get me a hole where the drill press where I'm going to drill. And then have our handy dandy drill. We have to get stuff out of the way. And I'm not going very far. I don't know if this is how you do yours, Al. But this is what I came up with. Okay. So I got my, I don't even know what I did with those dang things. There they are. So basically what's going to happen is they're just going to go in these holes like that. Okay.
All right.
So now we should be ready to go on this. That goes in there like that. The tea light. Port again. Is having tailstock support is useful. You can turn faster. Okay, now I'm going to clean up the top of this ever so slightly and this surface here, and then I'm going to begin shaping this. Now, what I want to do is I want to demarcate where I'm going to part this off, so I know where to start the rest of this functionality here, the curves and stuff in here. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to do that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Help me see better. There's my little cleanup. Here's my pencil mark. Okay. So now this is the outside rim there, and that's clean. So now I'm going to come back with the parting tool, and I'm going to leave myself extra room so I can undercut this a little bit. I don't care what people say, I love the way this looks now. It's got a wonderful smell to it. Okay, so that tells me that if I want to keep the natural edge on, then I've got to start everything else here, further up here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make more of these double riding itself, and I want to leave a little rim here so it comes down this way on the top. you know, or doing test cases. This is how we do that.
Yeah, I think maybe Zoom is doing something with your mic when you're turning and talking.
It's evil and it's never just as it's funny. Okay, and let's put the heating tool here and put in some grooves. The V-Wave tool. I use the V-Wave heating tool. This is a V-Wave tool, and it looks, it's got a sort of a teardrop effect. This top area. Okay? And this is just picture hanging wire. And it's strung between two handles. And if you use one of these, first rule of thumb is if the lathe wants the wire, let the lathe have the wire. Let go of the handle. It's safety factor. This wood is so wet it doesn't burn you like. I got some tool marks here I want to clean up. Questions so far on any of this?
No, nothing in chat.
All right. Hopefully, I haven't put everybody to sleep.
Not a chance.
I want this to be undercut. So if you see that, all you do is you angle your burning to a little bit thicker way. If you get do that, you get in there and you don't have the lathe grab the tool, which we all know is a bad thing. All right, so I had a little bit of a catch there, so we're gonna trim that down a little bit here.
Just a little design change.
see if I can, make a focus this. Got some fuzzies on the zone here. I can't see them at this field. See if I can. Yeah, that worked pretty good. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to finish going through it here. So there's our bottom. Okay. And so we take our other piece of wood. And these are very simple, basic shear cuts and slicing cuts on the spindle. Sometimes it's a very good idea to revisit the basics on these. I don't remember which is which. That one is that. Okay. All right. So this is the side. This is the side here that is going to have the holes drilled in it and is going to be the bottom of the top, if that makes sense. So questions, concerns, comments. How do you do things differently? What would you do better?
No, there's nothing in the chat, Matt. You're doing an excellent job there.
Okay.
I got closed captions popped up now, so hopefully everybody can read the verbiage of what's being said. So.
All right. Now, I don't want to reduce this too much here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to make, this is going to be the bottom of the inside. Another check. This is very, very wet wood. It doesn't want to stay in the chuck. And soft wood. So again, I need to use this as the guide, and I'm going to use my indexing wheel again. And if this is dry wood, you could paint the inside gold if you wanted, or something like that. So when I roll the tool up like this, I now get a shear stroke. And as I roll it in like this, it becomes more of a shear cut, and I get a fairly clean cut when I do that. Whereas here it's a straight scrape, and here it's just a shear scrape. Before I get too carried away with the tool. Okay. So we're going to follow the same procedure we get approximately on center. Use a pencil line, +4. 9. No math, just basic arithmetic. Okay, I'm done with that. Do the same thing I did before with the hole punch. This just sort of creates holes so the drill bit will, has a place to start and doesn't start wandering around on you. And part of the reason why you're doing this and using this as a guide this little tenon or whatever it is as a guide, so that you can get the holes in the right places so that they match up with the one on the other side on the bottom. Make sense?
Yes.
Say yes. Say yes. Good.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, no, the thing here, at the tenon at the end. So I'm going to clean up this tenon right now so it's ready to be mounted around in the chuck the other way. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit it with the skew and then I'm going to come back with this little bug out and clean off my pencil marks. Maybe ditch this out a little bit. Pull down a little bit. So this is our top. So now we're going to begin shaping the top, and I'm going to do as much as I can here. And I'm going to switch live center so that I've got some support. Because now would be a heck of a time to throw something off the lathe when we're so close, right?
The prospect of doing so is very great. But you got this. You're good. You're good.
Are you saying I'm good at throwing things off the lathe, Dane? Is that what I heard you say?
No, no, I'm saying you're all good on what you're doing. No demoitis.
This camera. One more cut here. One fatal final cut, right?
No such thing as a final cut. Every cut should be a final cut, and you never have to worry about that last final cut.
I work on it, Dane. If I don't have to do any sanding while I'm doing this, I'm a happy man.
I hear you.
All right. Let's switch it around. Pull off all the debris that's hanging on everything here. Stick it under the lathe where it belongs. Let's get some more support going here.
Hey, Matt, we got a
Yes, sir.
question asking would a version of dial points work for the layout?
Sorry, the audio skipped out. Would you repeat that?
So we have a question that says, would a version of dial points work for the layout? And I'm not sure what he means. Don, if you want to ask a question, pop in.
Let me, yeah, do it audibly because I can't. You know what? I'm going to switch over to Zoom here and see because I can't. Okay. Right. Would a version of dowel points work for the layout? Is that what he said? Is that the question?
Yes.
What's a dowel point?
Don, come on and ask your question. Guess we'll move
Dowel
on
point is,
from it.
guys. Okay. Yep. All right. So is with this bunch of wood here is I'm going to put a little feature like this on the top of it. Okay. Or the dowel's bemused audio is not working. Okay. My dowels are I cut them to length and then I take them on the belt sander and sort of round them off a little bit. I don't know if that is an answer to the question or not. Let me switch back over here. And let me zoom in a little bit here. This is a detailed guide. This is a standard guide. Can we shape a little bit? Remember double writing here and cut. Do that a lot. Oh, that's interesting. All right, I'm having some an artifact here with the fragmenting. So we're gonna clean it up the old-fashioned way with the skew. is with a with all the sandpaper, but who knows?
We can't see through your face shield.
Oh, thanks, Ruby.
Sorry, Ruby. That better?
Oh, that's much better.
So let me tell you a little bit about what happened here. So this is my face shield. I can't. All right. So at any rate, I'm done with this anyway. So let me take this off. Okay. Thank you, Ruby, for letting me know. Okay. So there's my top that's finished. There's my holes. So let's get my so there's my bottom. There's the little thing there. My little pegs going. And of course, you would use glue, but and there you be.
Oh, very cool, Matt. Well done.
Questions, comments? How do you do it
All right.
differently, Al?
Floor is open.
Comment is, Matt, that was a great demo and a great job. I really liked the way you did that.
That was. I mean, I'm very. That's very pretty. Very
And I
pretty.
wish my audio was working better.
No, hey, maybe there's something going on because all you guys that said that was happening with me earlier. I mean, so there's a
Yeah, you were
storm
having-
somewhere.
There's some
Probably-
storms in the middle of the country that are messing with stuff. So yeah.
We've got
Yeah,
a
it could
storm
be
here in
anything.
Minnesota that really messed up.
No, that was nice. I didn't put mine together that way. I'll tell you like that. There's some glue there. There's holes on the bottom, but there's glue on the top. Yeah. That's pretty. Yeah, I know it's pretty. It's pretty.
Really nice.
Well, you've done a lot more than I have, Al. So anything, any input you've got.
Yeah, you've got real low bandwidth out there, Matt.
Something about it. It's been giving me issues all night.
Yeah. No, it was an
Yeah, Mike-
excellent demo.
Hey, Matt.
That was an excellent demo.
Microsoft, my machine has been updating for like 3 days straight. Microsoft's latest update added a whole bunch of junk to that I've been killing regularly. So, an issue. So,
Hey, Matt. Matt, can you tell me what's on that end of your
Yes.
tailstock, that rubber piece?
this is not rubber. This is wood.
Okay.
And I've shown this before. The outside. So it just sits on my quill. That's what the big hole is for. That's where I keep it. Okay. And the inside diameter is tenon size, and the outside diameter is recess size. So if the outside fits in, then and so when I make a tenon on this side of the piece of wood, I'm eyeballing this inner ring here because that's my tenon size, my ideal tenon size. And it leaves a little bit of room for error. So if I go a little bit smaller than this, I'm okay.
Perfect.
But not too much. Yep. So, and then you guys, everybody's asked about that before. So,
Right. Yeah, it's a slick tippling.
okay.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions, comments? No, it doesn't look like there, Matt. So I just want to
All
say I
right.
appreciate you stepping in to do a demo tonight. You came up with a great project and interesting way on how to do things. The whole group appreciates you for that. So with that, we'll let Matt close down the shop there and get back up to the house and where he's got some good bandwidth.